We have to create something that generates real value, represent the real ownership.
Hi everyone, I'm Polly Speaks, CBDO at Cryptic, and we're standing at the best curated event in Hong Kong, RWA Summit, and actually it's a global event. So here with me, Sonia, CEO of OneAsset, and I'm here to torture her with a lot of different questions, but I'll try to make it quick and interesting. Hi Sonia, how everything is going?
I'm pretty busy, but it's good. Productive week.
If it's busy, then it's good. But I'm deeply curious, what is your personal journey? How you end up in Web3? What led to this decision, and how you end up building what you're building right now at OneAsset?
I think I'm a bit different compared to a lot of people that are in the crypto industry. I come from the traditional industry. I spent 15 years in traditional finance, mostly focused on the investment funds part, real estate investment funds part, and also had my own recruitment service firm. So it's sort of like a combination of traditional financial service and entrepreneurship as well. Then I entered the industry in the last crash, which is 2022, which was good. It was good timing to understand the market from, where it should be. And then I was in exchange for the last 4 years, holding a C-level there as well. And before I started my own project, OneAsset tokenization platform.
Wonderful. Sounds like a very vivid experience. 15 years in traditional finance, and now you are in Web3 and exploring new ways on how you can contribute to the whole Web3 evolution and adoption, and other very interesting words that I will pronounce later on. But what is the main problem that you're solving right now at OneAsset?
I think there are a few problems. Like the most important one is that the crypto industry itself facing a lot of trust issue, a lot of story getting old, getting boring, and a lot of the real applications not really happening in the mainstream adoption. So at OneAsset, we dedicated to create a tokenization platform that can reach to the retail, institutional in the regulated structure, and then bring the premium institutional level investment, real estate investment on chain, and then distribute globally to the investors, and then make premium good quality investment investable to everyone, everywhere. I think this is what the industry facing, like how we attract people, more people to come on chain and use crypto. And we can't use meme coin or hype up tokens to attract serious money. We have to create something that generates real value, represent the real ownership. So this is where the RWA sits. And then I think as one of the biggest asset class globally, commercial real estate is very, very underestimated among the public because it's just not accessible. So we're trying to solve that problem.
Well, that's a good problem to solve, and so far as I'm understanding, and it's trust issues and accessibility and as well interoperability, because RWA is kind of in a mix with DeFi, and you're making premium real estate accessible for a wider audience. So even maybe I can enter this market too with my 5 cents, but I still will be owning rights to a real estate or of a building somewhere in Dubai. Sounds very sexy, I would say. But you named several issues that the whole industry is having right now, and trust and access, and how we can get onboarded more Web2 people into Web3 and institutions and retail. What is the main problem that we need to solve as an industry as a whole in 2026 exactly?
I think from 2025, the whole industry has been going through quite a transition from a lot degen retail focus, not mainstream, to institutional compliance focused governments, which is good, which is what we need for the industry. And without the government endorsement, without the necessary regulatory framework, the industry will never go mainstream and will never really become one of the everyday use case. So from 2026, I would say it's also quite a transitional year for actual AI and blockchain merge, and then sort of the technology evolve together, and it's go side by side. These two technology is so important, and then I think because of the AI's development, blockchain technology will be also experiencing quite explosive growth. And then of course RWA space, which bring the traditional financial products, service, users on chain, and then when we reach that real use case on the application layer, we can say we're mainstream.
That's a good answer, and I think the whole we have different kind of compromises, and on settlement layer, and on token standard level, and on application layer. But I do agree there are interesting examples that we can soon discuss on our panel in several minutes. But I totally agree with you. It's a very important thing that you're doing right now. And if there are founders that are listening right now and thinking, maybe I can contribute as well, what advice you can give to them?
I would say go back to first thinking principle, which is also like adopted by all the entrepreneurs in Wall Street and Elon Musk. And I also follow that practice. What that means is try to go back to all the basics and then try to think what problem you're trying to solve, what sort of value you're offering in this whole chain, rather than following the narratives, following the hypes, and then because the hypes come and goes, like every 6 months there's a hype, and then you just can't catch up. If you want to be a serious entrepreneur investor in the industry, you gotta go back to the basics and then go back to first thinking principle. Find the problem and solve them.
Very philosophical advice, guys. I think it is applicable not only to Web3 but as a whole life. And I'm really glad that you said that first thinking principle. If you don't know what to do, if you don't know where to start your research, start with the basics. Start with the first thinking principle. Thank you so much. I needed that advice today, to be honest. So thank you so much, Sonia. And dear listeners and viewers, if you liked this interview and you would love to have more interviews like this together with OneAsset on RWA Summit, don't forget to drop a follow to official accounts of RWA Summit, OneAsset, and Cryptic Web3 as well. See you next time. Have a good day.